Hi folks, I'm Rossa, I'm a director here at Sigmar Recruitment, and today I'm actually going to talk to you about personalisation, pitching and process. Some lovely alliteration there, but to be honest with you, I'm actually going to talk to you about selling. Now, I remember years ago I was at a recruitment event and I was watching two recruiters have an animated debate about what they actually did for a living. And the recruiter A said that he was very much a salesperson. But recruiter B, he hated the word, didn't want to be associated as a salesperson at all, was determined to get the point across that they were actually a relationship builder and a problem solver. Now, they're both actually right, but what struck me was that recruiter B was adamant that they weren't a salesperson. They were getting very, very upset to be associated as a salesperson, to be considered a salesperson. But I understand the sentiment because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about what recruitment is. Now I'll share the next slide, and this is what most people think recruitment is. And I certainly know that a lot of my friends think this is what I do, and certainly a lot of my clients, and not sure about my parents, but I know a lot of people who view recruiters as, yeah, they probably really don't like us. And if you asked a lot of them to Google us, this is what they might come across, right? Now, I know there's other people out there who might go, well, that is your problem. It's not mine. That's what you get for being a recruiter. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, right? It isn't my problem. It's actually our problem. And I'm going to explain why to you, right? If you work in a company that needs talented individuals in this market, then it's your problem and you need to be a recruiter too. And part of all recruitment processes is selling. Everybody needs to be selling. There's a reason why we need to be selling. We should need to be selling all the time, but we especially need to be selling in this candidate-driven market. I love this slide. This is what candidates see when they're looking for jobs out there in the market. You're one of those people down there, and that's one of your companies, right? I'm 16 years in recruitment, folks, and this is the busiest I've ever seen it. Now, I used the Boolean search term jobs in Dublin, and I counted 1,740,000 results. Right now, looking a little bit closer on the job boards, I counted the following: 3,133 on jobs.ie, 5,536 on Irish Jobs, 27,122 on Indeed, 25,131 on Glassdoor, and 23,806 on LinkedIn, giving a grand total of 84,728 jobs in Dublin alone. That's just in Dublin. And before I move on from this slide, I'll give you another couple of seconds to look at it, because I know one or two of you are probably going to want to find out where Wally or Waldo, depending on where you're from in the world, is. I'm going to ruin it for you. I'm going to ruin the surprise. He's not actually there, because Waldo is at home being busy, successful in his job. He's working away. That's what he's doing. He's not on those job boards. So even though there's 84,000 plus, Waldo's probably not even looking, because you're not on the lookout. Your problem is you need to sell to Waldo. But you've got a bigger problem, because Waldo could be based anywhere in the world. This is the first time we are generally working in an environment where people can work from anywhere. We've been to previous talent summits, and I know that there was conversations about people working from the beach, and it was kind of taken half seriously, and we all thought about what it might look like. I've had those conversations with my colleagues who have been working on the beach, or have been working in Barcelona, or have been working somewhere fabulous, but hard at work. So we're trying to grab their attention. Everybody else is looking for these people, but they can be based anywhere in the world now. We're not just competing against Dublin or Cork or Galway or Ireland or the UK. We're competing against the globe. You're competing against the globe. And your job isn't selling itself. It isn't. Cold beer might sell itself, guys, but it's not necessarily selling this brand of cold beer. And anecdotally, this ad was used during the biggest quarterly slump for that brand of beer in Canada. Now, I know some of you out there are going, actually, we do sell our jobs. We're very, very good at selling ourselves, Rossa. But I guarantee you probably have the usual suspects, right? So you probably have a careers page. Let's be honest, most companies have a careers page these days. You certainly probably have an About Us section on your website. You probably have the job advertised with maybe 184,000 other jobs out there, as we've seen. You might have a company video. And you should certainly have a job spec, but not everybody even has one of those, right? Now the problem is at best what those things do is they sell your company, but it's not selling your job, because I've seen what you think job ads are. I've looked at job ads on the internet. I see how people are advertising things. And if people in HR, people in talent or recruiters were responsible for advertising Coca-Cola, this would be the ad that we would come up with. This is what we think advertising and selling is. This is what we would put up. That looks like a job ad. A recruiter, somebody in talent, HR, would recognize that as having the same format as a job ad. Text describing what's in Coca-Cola. Now, if you ask the people in Coca-Cola, they'll give you something like this, right? Now, this is an ad, right? And I know it's an ad because I don't even like Coke. I don't even like Coca-Cola. But every time I see this ad, I kind of want to buy one. And there's a couple of things going on here, isn't there? It's a nice sunny day. Maybe she's going to bring me the Coke. What's a green Coke? Is it minty? Who knows? Who the hell even cares? Let's go buy some Coca-Cola, right? Now, Coke know what they're doing here, but we don't. And the problem is that we think about selling in the wrong way. I'm going to introduce you to a guy called Jeffrey James. Now, Jeffrey is an American author. He's a journalist. He has his own blog called Sales Source, which was ranked as Business.com's top 10 blogs in 2016 on sales. He's lectured at Boston University, the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, and UC Santa Cruz. And he believes that most people define selling in the wrong way. And most people think of this image, right, when we're thinking about selling, or he defines selling as the process. What people think selling is the process of manipulating people into buying things they neither want nor need. This is the grubby recruiter, you know, the cheap car salesman. This is why we don't want to be associated with it. But Jeffrey actually believes that selling should be redefined as the process of making people's dreams come true, right? Now, I personally think Jeffrey's taken a little bit of a step too far there, and maybe he spent a little bit too much time in Santa Cruz. Believe me, I've been there. You go a little bit too far on the West Coast. But I believe that we should be more like Red, which is getting people what they need. If you're in sales, we need to get people what they need. If we work in great companies, we need great talent. We need great individuals to join us. And great individuals, great talent, great candidates need great places to go work. Now, if we think about what we're actually selling, can I ask you a couple of questions about what you're doing right now? So I might ask you the question, what are you actually selling? Does your job description sell the role, or is it just merely describing the duties or the functions of the position? Is your salary and benefits package truly competitive? Are these benefits and is this salary package being sold effectively? Have you genuinely listened to the candidate and their motivations? Has anybody in your organization called the candidate to specifically sell this opportunity to them? Is the hiring manager, the person they're actually going to be working with, making the offer? Or has the hiring manager recorded a video talking about this specific role and selling this specific opportunity? And that's what that image is there. That's the CEO talking to me, selling the opportunity to any candidate who would like to consider the role. In this candidate-driven market, folks, it's important that we are making personalised offers to the candidates. We cannot lead on what we think is important, but instead what is important to the candidate. After all, of what use is the on-site gym to the person who wants to be based remotely? We need to move away from the old school way of thinking, which is employer value propositions. We need to move more towards a job value proposition and ultimately to the candidate experience value proposition. And Robbie's going to talk more about this later. Now, if we understand that we need to be selling, you might ask, when do we need to sell? Now, I'm going to share the next slide with you, which is a very basic recruitment process. They can get a lot more complicated than this, believe me, right? Now, if you look at that, you might say, well, you know what? We actually do a bit of selling. We do sell. You might at the offer stage, pitching the role to the candidate. We want you to join. Other companies might have a creative marketing department, and maybe they do have effective ads. And maybe people are selling at interview stage. But the reality is we need to be selling absolutely at every stage through the process. It really does happen all the time. We need to get to the mindset of selling first and asking questions later. Now, Who needs to be doing the selling, you might say? And again, it's everyone. It involves everybody in the recruitment process. This is everybody's jobs. Everybody involved in the process needs to be aligned. Everybody needs to sell. Everyone needs to reinforce the message, and everybody needs to turn up. If you don't believe me, you can believe previous Talent Summit speaker Dan Pink, and his excellent book, To Sell is Human, states that everybody in nearly every job is selling at some stage. And just think about the teacher trying to grab the attention of the class. So you do need to make this your priority, folks. We need to be doing this all the time. Nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities. And if anybody in the organisation says that it's not their priority because they are too busy, the chances are that they are selling and they don't even know it yet, but it's the wrong message that they're delivering. If you are involved in trying to get talent into your organisation, you need to be selling at every single stage. And to sum it up, it really is this simple and it really is this complicated. To effectively recruit in this market, you need to be sending highly personalised messages that are unique to the target candidates, that effectively sells your role to them, and it needs to be done at every single stage in the process, and it needs to be done by absolutely everybody. So it's simple, really. Folks, thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and as always, if you have any queries, please don't hesitate to contact me.